All right, kiddos. It's to my understanding that our day 3 video, some of you are having issues getting it to load where you can watch it. So I'm redoing this lesson and I am going to make it shorter and I'm going to actually break it down into two pieces where you have my instruction and then the actual video on biomes I will put separately, and I think that will help. It will shorten the time and it's going to make it easier for you to access and view. So, real quick, our objectives for today is simply to be familiar with the Earth's major biomes. So, we're going to discuss what a biome is, and we're going to talk about the different biomes that are found on the Earth. And while we identify those biomes, we're going to talk about the organisms, or in your video that you watch, you're going to learn about the organisms that can survive there based upon the abiotic factors. And what we mean by that is, abiotic factors, you got to remember that includes things like the temperature and the amount of precipitation, the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide, the amount of light, those sorts of things, because that's going to affect what organisms can adapt and survive in that particular environment. Keep in mind that after you watch this short lesson on biomes, if you want more information, I have posted a full version of a Google slide and it's under the resource tab. So if you feel like you need some more information, that's where you're going to find it. Okay, so the word biome, it says here that your definition of a biome is one of the world's major communities. Okay, one of the world's major areas, classified according to the types of plants and animals that are adapted to that particular environment. So, just to let you know, some of the different biomes that we find here on Earth are going to be things like the grassland, and we have different kinds of grasslands, like the savanna, or like the grassland where you guys live. We have the tundra, which is really closely related to the Arctic. If you look at this picture, this would be more of the Arctic because it's like all ice. And then the red here, as you can see, this would be the tundra because it's still a very cold climate there. Then we have deserts, we have oceans, we have freshwater environments, and you'll see all that in your video. Okay, using this picture, I want you to take a second look at this picture, and you're going to have to use the key as well. There's a key located at the bottom that tells you what each color represents. It says, what would be one major factor that influences or determines these different biomes? So look at this map. Starting at the top, the white would be the tundra, the Arctic, the ice. Okay. And as we move down, you can see that now we have the taiga and the tundra, the taiga. We have grasslands, we have deserts, and then as you get down here, you have tropical rainforest. So the light green would be like tropical rainforest. The orange would be deserts. Okay, and then as you work up, you have tundra and you have Arctic. So what would be one thing that directly affects the biome? Think about it. Get your answer in your head. Now let's see if you came up with the right answer. The answer is actually, it depends on the latitude and the longitude. Okay, or in other words, the location of that area from the equator. Because as you move closer to the equator, you gotta remember the equator is that imaginary line that runs east to west, okay, in the middle of the globe. As you move closer to the equator, it gets warmer and it gets wetter. And as you move farther away from the equator, either south, or north, it's going to get colder and it typically gets much drier because of, like, in the ice, the Arctic, that's a very dry area. All right, so what you're going to learn today, there's two major kinds of biomes. We have terrestrial, which is just a fancy word for land. So you're going to learn all the different land biomes, and then you're going to see some aquatic biomes. Okay, mainly freshwater versus marine, and marine is just another word for ocean. Okay, I do want you to be aware that there's a third called an estuary, which you may want to look this up and do some more research on that. And that is on that Google slide that I posted. There is a link there for you to watch another little video on estuaries because estuaries are very special. estuaries are actually a combination of freshwater and marine. And what I mean by that is that's typically going to be an area like where a river or a stream dumps into an ocean. So that's going to be very specialized organisms that survive there because it is freshwater and ocean water. Okay. And I'm going to skip through this. At this point, you may want to go ahead and get a piece of paper because you're going to watch your video now on biomes. And keep in mind that your job is to be familiar with the name of the biome, okay? And then what kind of plants and animals can live there and why. So as you're watching, if you want to make your own little notes, again, I've mentioned this in the past that it may be a good idea for you to have some paper or a folder or a spiral somewhere where you are recording information as you're learning these next few weeks. Okay. So go ahead and get that ready. And I'm going to go past this part real quick because this is going to be the video that I separated and you're going to go back and watch it on your own. And then I'm going to let you know that when you finish watching that video, at this point, you're going to go back and you are going to answer that question because I have posted a question. This is linked to a question on Google Classroom. Okay. You need to give me your answer in a complete sentence. Keep in mind that the question that I gave to you today is simply going to be for you to be able to think about and relate how biodiversity and sustainability and biomes are related. That's the connection I want you to think about, okay? As you're watching that video and think about how all the different plants and animals help those ecosystems become healthy or stable, okay? All right, now exit out of this, go and look for this video that I have posted separately on your Google Classroom. Watch it, answer your question. Keep in mind, after you answer this question, okay, after you answer this question on your Google Classroom, you need to hit turn in. Turn it in on Google Classroom. All righty? All right, see you soon. Bye.